So Ismail Haniyeh, one of the leaders of Hamas, chief architects of their terrorist operations and evil actions, has been eliminated. Israel aren't admitting it, but who else has done this? And it clearly is even more remarkable given that they managed to assassinate him inside of Iran itself. This is a major blow to Hamas, to Iran. The fact that Israel achieved this in Iran, not on, in Gaza or something like that, is absolutely remarkable, and it will send a lot of shockwaves throughout the region and send a very powerful message. Israel said they're going to go after all the Hamas leaders after October 7th, and they're sticking to their words. I want to get you some of the reactions and some of the media responses and analysis, and also we're going to have a look at Mosab Yousef, the son of a Hamas co-founder, what he had to say. But first, I want you just to see the levels of evil of this man, basically. This was posted by Elon Levy on Twitter, where he was saying Haniyeh was Bond villain levels of evil. Have a watch of a speech he gave.
كما قلت وفي كل مرة أكرر إن دماء الأطفال والنساء والشيوخ لا أقول تستصرخكم بل نحن الذين نحتاج هذه الدماء لكي توقظ فينا روح الثورة لكي توقظ فينا العناد لكي توقظ فينا التحدي والسير إلى الأمام كما قلت.
And we reported on this in a previous video when he was informed about his children and grandchildren being killed in Gaza. He just shrugged his shoulders and said, they'll be among the martyrs, and continued with his tour that he was doing. He even sent a sign with his wife giving a thumbs up because they're going to become martyrs. This was Haniyeh with other Hamas leaders right after October 7th. This is right after October 7th. Here we see him on the far left.
جيب الاسرائيلي حاطينه دخل على يلا سجدة الشكر ان شاء الله على هذا النصر. اللهم اتم نصرك وعزنا يا رب لشعبنا وامتنا. الله اكبر.
Praising their total perversion of who God is and what he wants. And this was Haniyeh just yesterday in Iran's parliament, where they were chanting death to America, death to Israel. There he is. There he is. Absolutely remarkable that this has happened. I want you to see what Mosab Yousef has said. He's the son of a Hamas co-founder and leader who obviously left left Hamas and ends up being an amazing ally of Israel. He said there is no escape for anyone who planned, participated, celebrated and legitimized October 7th. No matter how long it will take, justice will be delivered. Go on fooling around, spreading false narratives, but remember the one who has the authority to slay. Of course, he's referring to God himself, I assume, which is absolutely right. I want to read to you a bit more of the reporting. This is in the Times of Israel, has said that Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in the early hours of the morning in Iran. The Palestinian terror group was said on Wednesday, describing the strike as a severe escalation that would not achieve its goals. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps also confirmed the death of Haniyeh hours after he attended a swearing-in ceremony for the country's now president, Masoud Pezeshkian, and said it was investigating. We're going to have to look into this new president. In a statement carried by Iranian media, the president said Iran would defend its territorial integrity, dignity, honor, and pride, and will make the terrorist occupiers regret their cowardly act. It was the second high-profile assassination attributed to Israel in a matter of hours, coming after an airstrike in Beirut that killed Hezbollah's top military leader. There was no immediate comment on the Tehran strike from Israeli authorities. Israel had vowed to kill Haniyeh and other leaders of Hamas after the Gaza-based terror group's devastating October 7th attack on Israel that killed 1,200 people and saw 251 taken hostage. Haniyeh, normally based in Qatar, has been the face of the Palestinian terror group's international diplomacy as the war triggered by the attack has raged in the Gaza Strip, where 3 of his sons were killed in an Israeli airstrike. He is the most senior Hamas official killed since the war started. One of Haniyeh's bodyguards was also killed, the IRGC said. An Israeli military spokesman did not immediately respond to a request for comment, and there was no official comment from Israel. Hamas said Haniyeh was killed in a treacherous Zionist strike on his residence in Tehran after he participated in the inauguration of Iran's new president. Hamas declares to the great Palestinian people and the people of the Arab and Islamic nations and all the free people of the world, brother leader Ismail Haniyeh a martyr, the terse statement said. In another statement, the group quoted Haniyeh as saying that the Palestinian cause had costs and we are ready for them. Mahmoud Abbas said the killing of Haniyeh was a cowardly act. Cowardly. This is the man who leads a terrorist organization that murdered, beheaded, burned, raped, took hostage, imprisoned, abused so many people in Israel on October 7th and is committed to the destruction of Jews worldwide. And Mahmoud Abbas, who is our moderate in the Palestinian Authority, he's the moderate on the other side, who calls it a cowardly act. Just unbelievable that people think that this man is somehow a moderate. But shockingly, I do have to show you Sky News. And this is what they said about Haniyeh, the Hamas leader. This is Sky News in the UK. Have a watch.
Of doing that. So he was also considered a very moderate leader for Hamas. He had survived previous photographs.
A very moderate leader. You can have a moderate leader of Hamas. It's no different to saying, we've got a moderate leader of the Nazi Party, a moderate leader of the KKK, a moderate leader of... It's a contradiction in terms. This is a great example of the moral ambiguity, the double standards, the vilification of Israel, the attempting to excuse and justify Israel's enemies that unfortunately we're seeing far too often. But let's just get back to Haniyeh. Let's go to some of the other media reporting, because this is where it gets quite interesting as well. And this is coming from media that isn't necessarily sympathetic to Israel. So we see that, first of all, this is the Hamas leader seen literally hours before his death. Okay, this was him in Iran's capital. Greeting the Ayatollah just hours before his death. So, and then we see the BBC reporting here that let's just go up a bit. The killing of the overall leader of Hamas is seismic in terms of both the target and where it happened. Weeks after the unprecedented 7 October attacks by Hamas, Netanyahu said publicly that he had instructed Mosab, Israel's intelligence agency, to act against the Hamas leaders wherever they are. Ismail Haniyeh was in Tehran where he was killed, reportedly by an aerial strike. The fact that it happened not in Qatar where Haniyeh lived, surrounded by security, but inside Iran, Hamas's most important backer, sends a powerful signal that nowhere is off limits if it is indeed confirmed that Israel carried out the strike, and that it is capable and willing of acting right under the nose of its most mortal foe. It's such a powerful message. Haniyeh's death comes just 2 weeks after Israel targeted Hamas's number 2, which we know about, Mohammed Deif in Gaza. Indications are that he was killed. The removal of Hamas's top political and military leaders is the biggest blow to the group on an individual and operational level since the start of the war. And so this is just powerful. It's very powerful. We saw also so many things happening to Iran recently that backfired. They send these missiles and drones into Israel, and it's like 99% are eliminated and don't affect Israelis or their infrastructure in most cases. And then we saw the helicopter of the Iranian president and foreign minister that just came down in what seems like an act of nature or act of God. But this is powerful, showing that Israel really does have a great deal of capability and shouldn't be underestimated. And while we do always point out that when you look at Israel in the region, surrounded by hostile actors, so many hostile actors, she is actually the underdog. But at the same time, she does have great military capability. And the thing that I think all supporters of civility, of morality, of Israel, of the Jewish people, of decency, want to see Israel do more, to do whatever she can in the best way possible to eliminate these security threats that she faces. It is unacceptable that Hezbollah should have hundreds of thousands of rockets pointed at Israel and that Israel should just accept that. Unacceptable that Iran is funding and plotting all these terrorist activities that are working to destroy Israel. Unacceptable that you would have Hamas in Gaza that are in any way in a position of power and authority anymore. But I think the purpose of this video is simply just to I think reflect on what a significant achievement this is and consider the ripple effects that it's going to send to enemies of Israel and to Iran. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.